What's going on, people? It is Irish Gunner HD here, you can call me Irish, and today I thought I would talk a little bit about Warner Brothers. So, if you didn't know, Warner Brothers are basically the publishers behind a lot of recent AAA games, being Mad Max. They did Shadow of Mordor, they did Arkham Knight, and basically the Arkham series in general, as far as I know. They are the publishers of. And then like loads of other ones. I was looking through the list on Wikipedia there. There's heaps of games. Origins, City, obviously all the Arkham games. Lego Batman, Lego Marvel Superheroes, basically all the Lego games made by TT Fusion. Injustice, Gods Amongst Us. You get the gist. Basically, they are a big AAA publisher that publishes a lot of games that you might even not have realised that they did basically. And basically what they've done now is with another game that I did mention, Mortal Kombat X. They basically have discontinued support for the PC version of the game. That itself is just unbelievable. Okay, so like if you don't know, Mortal Kombat X released on the PC with kind of a fair few problems, like the multiplayer wasn't working. They kind of hid some kind of a lot of the features behind like a timed kind of, when you first downloaded it, you only got like the single player thing, or you only got the multiplayer, one or the other. Basically, as far as I remember, there was like a lot of features cut out at the very beginning. But yeah, otherwise there was frame drops, which is critical in a fighting game. Which again, if you don't for some reason know what Mortal Kombat is, it's a fighting game. Yeah, there was frame drops, there was performance issues, which are nonsense. They're nonsense to begin with on a fighting game, because it should be a relatively simple, easy thing to run. But yeah, so basically, it wasn't the greatest PC port in the world, and as such, while it did sell apparently like 500,000 copies overall, you could say that it wasn't exactly a massive success, and basically you could say, in theory, that the reason that Warner Brothers are going to pull support for the PC version is because maybe they just don't see it as a big thing for the future. Maybe it didn't earn them enough money. Maybe it's not worth it to them. But it did. 500,000 copies is a lot. But yeah, basically, so what they're doing is there's a big kind of, it's almost like a kind of like a revamp, a refresh, like a extended edition kind of thing of the game that's getting released. And on top of like critical bug fixes and performance updates and stuff like that, and as well as new features, basically that's what's going to be in this new edition. They're bringing that to the Xbox One and the PS4 only, and just basically just ignoring the PC, the PC community, which is beyond insane. The reason that I'm talking about it now, for like the reason that it's become an interest of mine, is that I'm not interested in Mortal Kombat. I don't play fighting games, but I played Mad Max. I played I really loved Shadow of Mordor. The bits and pieces that I played of it, I never finished it now, to be fair, but yeah, like, so I really love those games, and it's bizarre to see a company that did so well with those games. Now, again, they're the publishers, they're not the developers. Now, and again, in fairness, with Shadow of Mordor, there was apparently some kind of sketchy things with trying to get a code early. Like, if you're a PC reviewer, apparently there was issues with Shadow of Mordor trying to get a code. But just overall, the fact that they basically did so well with those two games, and they've done so well with a lot of games. Again, I've played some of the Lego games. I played Lego Marvel Superheroes, I think, on the recommendation of some people in work. Yeah, like I've played some of their games. I've played a few of their games, actually, more than I would have thought. Again, it's that thing of you don't realize how many they've done until you actually go and look at the list at the list that I was checking out earlier on Wikipedia. Yeah, it's crazy to me that they could give so much like kind of leeway and attention and kind of not rushing the developer and stuff like that to make a game like Mad Max or Shadow of Mordor or again any of these other ones. But then when it comes to just random games like Mortal Kombat X, where it should be, again, another kind of thing where, although like traditionally PC games don't do as well on fighting games don't do traditionally as well on the PC, which, side note, I think that's bizarre because, again, performance is everything in fighting games. You would think that the more powerful system that you have, the better frame rates you can get, the kind of versatility of the PC. You would think that would be kind of common sense for it to be the natural home of the fighting game. But yeah, like for them to strangely just kind of cut support on a title like Mortal Kombat X, like, And it's not the first time they've done it. So obviously, if you're like into the kind of the gaming sphere, PC gaming, or anything along those lines, you know about Batman Arkham Knight. Kind of just released, was kind of really hyped. I didn't realize the massive interest in the Batman games until I started playing them early last year, and I kind of got into them and I finished the first two. I'm nearly finished the third one. Arkham City is the one I'm on now. Or sorry, Arkham Origins is the one I'm on now. Yeah, and once I get into them and I played them and I looked into it, it's like, oh yeah, so like they're not like AAA games, not every single like, or they're not like kind of AAA popular games like Call of Duty or something like that. Like not every single person in the world has played them, but they are pretty popular. And then it turns out Arkham Knight gets announced and people get really hyped for it, and it's supposed to be this great thing, and people are like, well, Arkham Asylum was really well optimized and it was really good fun gameplay. Arkham City was a little bit rehashed, wasn't as greatly optimized, but was still really good. And then Arkham Origins was kind of poorly optimized, was a bit of a rehash, but Arkham Knight, it should be good. And people got really excited, and when you see what happened when it came out, wasn't so good. Basically the game came out as possibly the most ridiculously broken game that's been out for some time. I'm trying to think of one. I know that there was Watch Dogs again wasn't exactly flawless. But yeah, Arkham Knight is kind of the go-to benchmark now. If you say, "Oh, this game performed terribly," you kind of go to Arkham Knight as your kind of reference point. But basically, yeah, that was the first kind of sign that Warner Brothers were really starting to slip up. But then again, Arkham Knight also came out before Mad Max, as far as I know. So it's really weird the way they kind of pick and choose almost which kind of games get their attention. But yeah, so basically Arkham Knight came out. The game had horrible problems, and there they go again. It swings and roundabouts with Warner Brothers. They do a really good thing in that they go, okay, fair enough, guys, we messed up. We're going to take it down off Steam. It's unprecedented. It's never been done before. We'd never seen this happen before. They took it down off Steam. Stopped selling, like literally stopped selling, basically, and said that we're not going to put it back up until we fix all the problems. And fair enough that they did. They took it down. They released a big patch. Even like I think it was recently enough. I think it was like last month or the month before. And I'm just gonna see, is it? Yeah, it's back up on sale. So basically, yeah. So they kind of on like with one hand they give it, with the other they slap you in the balls. Basically, they took it down. They said that they'd fix it. They put out one or two patches that it claimed to fix a lot of things, but according to people that have the game, had absolutely like minimal, like 20-30% impact on the kind of overall problems that the game had. Then they slapped it back up on sale for a full price, basically. Well, it's down to €50 at the minute, so I don't know if maybe they took a tenner off it. Like, but yeah, so like they did that, and that was the kind of the first thing where it's basically, yeah. So basically, that's what they did. Then recently enough, last month I think it was, they came out and said, well, that's it, that's Arkham Knight. I hope you enjoy it. We're on to the next one. And it's kind of like, well, they didn't specifically say that, but you know, kind of way, like they just basically said that we're not going to support it from here on out. They basically just pulled support on it, and like, so that's why the Mortal Kombat X thing interests me, because it's like, well, one is kind of a dick move. You can't just not support the game that's like your current title out there. Again, they're not the developers, they're the publishers, but like making the developers like kind of work on, with like telling like their developers which games to work on, I would imagine is one of the things that a publisher does. And to let them be okay with just kind of stopping supporting, like to stop us supporting a game that came out on the 23rd of June in, what was it, December, that announcement came out, just seemed ridiculous to me. And now that they've gone and done it again with a second game, just boggles my mind that while they can be so good and like be behind such great titles like Mad Max and that kind of thing, and then but to be also be behind such shitty, awful moves as just stopping supporting a game and just completely removing support from a game on a platform. But then also on the same hand, do something completely unprecedented and amazing as basically being the reason that refunds on Steam exist. Which again, it's a great thing that it happened, but it's also, I suppose, another very ridiculously bad thing that it should have happened in the first place. But yeah, overall, this was interesting to me. They're a really weird company. They make some baffling decisions. They make some great games. They make some not so great games. But then they're also like, I don't know. They refunds are possible because of them. So it's all these little bits and pieces that made me think about doing a commentary, and so I did, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you, if you didn't know about any of these things, I hope you kind of take that into consideration when you consider a Warner Brothers game in the future. Apparently, they just stopped supporting them. They release them broken, don't fix them, and then just flat out pull support, apparently. But yeah, as long as they can keep doing the thing that they do, where they make good games, yeah, keep doing that thing. The thing where you pull support from games, no, don't do that thing. But if you like this video, the thing that you can do is hit the like button. Yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.